Welcome back to my YouTube channel where we discuss everything that has to do with movie review and all the gist going on in the industry. So basically, I'm very relaxed and I'm very chilled, and I'm trying as much as possible to be very spontaneous in this particular video. Of course, why not? Because we've been so formal, we've been so boxed in the last few videos that I've been doing, and I feel like it's okay that I'm relaxed and I'm doing my thing and not just, of course, the review. And why can't we be relaxed? Why can't we just chill and have some fun? So today, let's go straight into it. We'll be doing 3 Working Days by deyemi okanlawon. I think this is the second movie ever since he announced that he will be featuring in people's movie like before, and he will be focusing on doing movies of his own. And I feel it's not a bad decision given from the fact that he owns a brand name and an household name, and he could make decisions that suits him as much as far as I'm concerned, as far as the fans are concerned. And he feels like this is the best decision for him to take, and maybe it is for him. So let's get right into the synopsis. A desperate man holds up a bank, taking the staff and customer hostage with an ultimatum to process his delayed transaction. Unknown to him, his move has disrupted the plan of a deadly gang that has planned to attack the same bank. So as I've said, I'm not supposed to do this movie because there's not so much going on. It's just an enjoyable film that you could watch while you're doing a lot of things. Probably you just want to unwind. There's not so much going on. There's not so much specularity that requires you to just keep all your attention fixated on this movie. But as much as a simple story, it was a world tour. I think what really would be a selling point for the movie was the journey that we didn't realize that the movie was going to take us, especially the part where deyemi and his family wanted to go and get money from the bank, and before what he didn't want to get money from the bank, he wanted to purchase something from the supermarket, and from there he before he got out, his card got declined. He was still trying to fix it and get around. Probably it was network, so there was a robbery outside which claimed the life of his wife and leaving his son in coma. So I think that was basically the story, and from there he had gunshot, and coming outside he couldn't see the killer, but he met his wife already on a pool of blood and his son unconscious, and he couldn't see the killer really, but he just saw the leg, and from there proceeded to take the child to the hospital, and they told him that he needed to pay some amount of money to make sure his son is well again. And from there he just wanted to make sure he pays the money. It wasn't as if he did not have the money, it was just a case of his card got declined. And from there he went to the bank. So when he got to the bank, they told him his account couldn't be fixed at that particular day, that it's going to take 3 working days, which brought about the whole idea of the title and the movie. And he couldn't do it, and he just left angrily. Fortunate enough for him, he knows the bank manager. He thought the bank manager was going to help him, but he couldn't help him. He was also corrupt. So at that particular point, he saw that there was actually cash. He explained to them at the bank that this money is very important, that he gets his money that day, so he could help his child on the coma bed. But everything, all his effort was futile, and he made the next move, being an ex bad guy. So he just took the next move, took to his gun, went to the bank, and just made a scene which really went back to him. Unknown to him, there was another people who wanted to carry out a major heist. Do you get? And it was just like they couldn't even get through to it. He was still performing his thing, hoping that he was going to get money out by force, because his son was his last hope and his last family, and he would want to go to any length. This story is a good story, trust me. It has a good process that I like. It has a good development, which I really love, and it took us on a journey. Although it is a simple story, as I've said, but you would definitely enjoy every bit of it. Honestly, one of the things that put me off was the fact that they hinted us, or deyemi's action hinted us, that he was a bad guy. There was no foundation to us knowing that he was a bad guy, but from the way he was acting suspicious, you would you would believe that there was something hidden that he was hiding from his family from the first two scenes, from the time that his son wanted to just prank him and said, "Who was that?" And it was as he was giving us an hint that, okay, this guy has something hidden that was going on. They also, in my own opinion, they ought to have prepped us that, okay, this guy had a foundation of being a bad guy before he now became a good guy and wanted to settle down, and from there they would have given us another foundation. Probably just something happened that made him change his mind, but there was nothing of such foundation, and the only thing that was a foundation for was a suspicion. And I think it's not professional enough. At least they should have given us a foundation, and if I thought they were not going to give us foundation, they shouldn't have added the suspicion of where he was looking around, or he was, we've seen this kind of movies in Hollywood where it used to be a bad guy will become a good guy wanting to settle down, and from there they will come for his family. This is like a compound story, a common story that we see every now and then. But I feel that it was a flop from the end that they didn't give us a foundation as to who deyemi was. And from there, one of the things that I really do not find funny was that he believes that nobody would want to plan out and heist alone. I no, there's no how you can be psychopathic and want to plan out. It is kind of impossible. It is implausible. I just feel like that is not realistic. And anybody who has been a bad guy, regardless of how single-handed you feel you can do stuff, I feel you should have just involved these people. Of course, he went to his former boss to ask for money, and that one couldn't provide, which is okay. At least you would have gotten connected. And if you wanted to plan a basic, like a major heist, you would have planned it. And another place that I feel like they were just taking us for fool was at the part where he had a conversation with Michael Zonia, and he told Michael Zonia that he knew where the guy was, the whole heist was going. And, I feel like, number one, the proper police will not release you, regardless of how you sweet talking. And number two, you came out, you just drove out, and the other people around that vicinity couldn't stop you. Even if they took him to be the boss, at least they should have asked him, and they knew that something was going on, and someone could disguise. Come on, this is police force, and they are not as stupid and they are not as foolish as we think they are, or the producers think they are, and how the producers feel like we are not completely stupid. I think they should have just find a way out, probably beckon to his team that they should let him go and get him fished. And so for the fact that they didn't follow him, they didn't track him, and how did they get to where he was? It still did not make sense. I just feel like that was a little bit slow on the producer's part. And for the very last time, I think this should be the last time we are going to see Nancy in this kind of role. I personally am tired. I'm tired of seeing her face being the bad girl. It's not a cliche. Trust me, it's a cliche. And I personally am tired. I am bluntly tired of seeing her as the bad girl. I think she should spread her tentacles. She should stop taking rules of bad girl. Though everybody wants to be commercial and everybody wants to take whatever comes to the table because this is what they feed from. But to an extent, I just feel like she should just call it a quit and try and spread her tentacles on something different. I think that's it. That is just all about the movie, and it's a good watch. Will I recommend it? Yes. Is it part of my top 10? Absolutely no. Will I recommend it? Absolutely yes. Where is it streaming? It is currently streaming on Prime Videos, and you would enjoy it. So my rating. So out of 10, I will rate this movie 5.2. And that's being fair enough, being fair for the slow action, for the development. The major hit point for me was the development. There was no place where there were unnecessary scenes. They were straight to the point, and which makes sense for me. And I love it. I definitely love it, and I would recommend that you watch it. So that was it, and here we are. So we still have a lot of movies to review this season. We still have Alakada Badambuji, we still have Tin Line, we still have The Witcher, we still have Christmas in Lagos, and we still have a lot of movies that we still need to review. I've missed all the blockbusters coming to your screen, and we'll be here. I would love you to like, share, comment, and click on the subscribe button whenever, so you get updated whenever I post new content. So see you in my next video. I love you all.